Good morning, kids. What day is it? It's Friday. It's TGIF Friday. I made it out of my surgery. I am sore and all the things, but I'm here because I found out that there has been some movement in the D4VD case. If you guys have not been watching it, we have been covering it, I think, months ago when everything was kind of like in the spotlight. But there has been more things that we haven't known other than his parents were had a subpoena, and all the things. His friend Neo, the Asian, was arrested and brought in for detainment um, for all of the things. So we are going to go over some of the updates for the D4DV. Rest in peace, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And this is a trigger warning. So we're going to put a trigger warning up because um, it deserves it, right? It deserves it. Um, I cannot believe what I was hearing. And uh, everything that we use today is copyright under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance to make for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So miss me with all of the strikes, okay? Miss me with the strikes. So we're going to go from here. How is everybody doing today? I hope you guys are better than me. Um, your girl feels like that she got hit by a Clydesdale in both sides of my body. I am extremely in pain, but I'm here. I'm here. I needed a distraction. And when I came across the D4DV debacle, I was outraged. And so we're going to talk about it. It's this happened back in September, if I'm not mistaken, and it is taken to, yeah, Clydesdale packs a punch, and your girl feels it, boo. Your girl feels it on both sides. My ribs, I'm very tightly put together with bandaging and stuff, but nonetheless, I woke up really, really, really sore yesterday and today. I'm trying to not take my meds, but like I have to because it takes the edge off, right? I have my coffee. I hope everybody has the coffee because this is going to be a doozy. The forum on 126 used to have a Budweiser Clydesdale visit back in the day. How cool is that? I would have wanted to see Clydesdale. Beautiful animals. Beautiful animals. Joe, I can't wait to bring my son to Tangerini's. He loves to see the goats and stuff. I can't wait for that to open down there in Millis. So there's that. Who remembers the D4VD case? I was covering it extensively and then kind of it went into a lull and there was no information coming out. But apparently, our boy David is a prime suspect in her murder. And we're going to find out some details that we didn't find before. And you might be disgusted. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to speculate. We are going to do all the things that we do here. None of your business. And Christine, hi, baby. Yeah, justice for Celeste. That little girl was lost. No one cared for that girl. It's a fucking crying shame. I saw the Clydesdale yeah, they're beautiful animals. But if in my suspicion of being hit by one is what I feel like. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, sister? So we're gonna get into this. I have some things pull up from YouTube. David has been named. A girlfriend has come forward And we're gonna learn a lot of things about D4VD today. Oh, my baby, Tracy V. Hello, thank you for joining us, my sweet angel. Listen, if you don't know Tracy V, it is a detriment to your life because she's one of the most beautiful people inside and out. Inside and out. I met her at events and she's been fully involved in the movement when it was a movement, and I will be forever grateful. Actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna show you my god awful face because I've been, pre-op and I'm in a hoodie. But my girl here sent me this for Christmas, and I'll be forever grateful. I will be forever grateful. I'm turning on my camera, kids. I don't want to scare anybody. Wait, why isn't it coming on? I don't know why. It's not coming on, kids. What is this? Oh my god. What is happening? I don't know, kids. Um, oh my god. I don't know what's happening here. I'm gonna have to turn my camera off. In any case, she sent me a an ornament, and it says the year we freed Karen Reed 2025, and it has all the things. If you guys haven't gotten one, I suggest you got one. Tracy V has a hookup. Not sure if there's any more left, but I have one, and I'll be forever grateful for this opportunity to have one and display it on my lives. I was turned around. My apologize. I hope you feel better. I didn't know you were going in for more surgery. Yeah, I had a reconstruction revision. They did an amazing job. My plastic surgeon is unbelievable. I mean, the man, he does plastic surgeon and reconstruction services. He literally not only does the work of angels that he does face reconstructions, he does breast cancer reconstructions, he does all types of cancer reconstructions. And he told me as he's marking up my body that the best part of his job is knowing that he is making a difference in somebody's life, and he's one of the most beautiful men outside and in, okay? One of the most amazing men. And I'm so lucky that I get to call him my surgeon, and he did a beautiful job. Even though I feel like I got kicked by Clydesdale, he will forever be an angel in my life to make me feel like a woman again. And I'll forever be grateful. Um, yeah, he does mostly reconstruction. So he reconstructs people who have like face cancer and lose their face, and he makes their face look to be as normal to what they look like before. I've seen before and after pictures. Unfucking believable. The talent this man has. And I'm very lucky that I was suggested to him. This should be my last hurrah though. Other than getting tattoos, this was it. And it was nothing like the mastectomy. And so I am perfectly grateful. I'm so fucking grateful. Um, but enough about me. Let's talk about D4VD. I have some things pulled up. It won't be a long live just because I don't know how long I can sit here and be comfortable, but let's talk about it, kids. Let's talk about it. We are going to stop this, and we are going to go with the most recent um the most recent news.
The 14-year-old Celeste Rivas is now being considered a murder. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Annabelle Sedano. Rivas' bod was in. Pop singer David. NBC4 Investigates just obtained some newly unsealed documents. Our investigative reporter Eric Leonard first broke the story back in September. He's been reading through those court documents and joins us live with what we know about the murder so far. Eric, and there's some shocking things in that filing.
Certainly unsettling. And a hearing in Texas that has given into this case that we ordinarily would never hear in Southern California. And that's because the investigation is still wrapped up in a secret grand jury investigation into the teen's death. These documents out of Texas say it is a murder case, that the singer is the target or suspect, and that the girl's remains were found in a horrific state. Grand jury subpoenas and documents that were filed in Texas show LA County prosecutors are investigating the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez as a murder. Those documents say David, whose legal name is David Burke, is the target of the murder case. Rivas Hernandez's remains were found in September when the Tesla registered Burke was impounded. These new court records say Rivas Hernandez was found dismembered in the front trunk of the car, her remains in 2 different bags. Rivas Hernandez was last seen alive in 2024, and our law enforcement sources have told NBC4 Investigates they believe she died sometime in the spring of 2025. And again, the reason this became public now is because Burke's mother, father, and brother filed a legal challenge to those subpoenas for their testimony and tried unsuccessfully to get a judge in Texas to block the enforcement of the LA County court order. So the LA County grand jury investigation has been something secret around LA, with various witnesses being brought in to testify about the death. But this is the first time we've seen in black and white court filings that her death is considered a murder and that Burke, known as David, is the named suspect. Someone we believe to be his defense lawyer has not returned any of our calls.
Shocker.
Live. I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News. Back.
All right, we got that one. Now we're going to pull up this one.
Officially a murder suspect, and there is a criminal case being pursued against him in connection with the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And unfortunately, these documents also reveal apparent new and disturbing details about her dismembered body. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
I'm just super uncomfortable.
Have you ever wondered how we're able to share so many of these clips so quickly on all of these rapidly developing stories? I'll give you a secret. Well, it's actually not a secret anymore. I'm about to tell you about it. Opus Clip. It's an all-in-one AI editor form. Through AI, Opus get a free week and then 50% off. Case religiously. There have been no arrests. There have been no charges. Well, there have been arrests, but not in connection with the actual, let's say, killing of Celeste or the removal of her body. There was an arrest in terms of somebody to testify. But here's the big part. You've heard reports of a grand jury being impaneled. You've heard reports of David being considered a suspect, but nothing official. There has been so much that authorities haven't been revealing about this investigation. But right now, Steve Fisher, the private investigator who had been investigating this case on the ground, demanding justice, who may have testified in front of the grand jury himself, by the way, although we can't officially confirm that. And by the way, he represents the owner of the house where David was reportedly staying near where the Tesla was found. He just dropped not only huge bombshells about this case on X, but he just gave us 150 pages of court filings that have revealed a lot of new information. We have learned more about Celeste's body, and we have learned that there is a real case against David for murder. So let me lay out first what he posted on X, and then we'll discuss the actual filings. First, Steve wrote, in a petition for attendance to compel David family members to appear before a grand jury, it's disclosed that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's head and torso were found in a cadaver bag, her severed arms and legs in a second bag. David Burke, meaning David, is the target of the grand jury for 1 count of murder. And when you read from the screenshots that he posted, and we'll talk about this more from the actual filing, people of the state of California v. David Burke, Nathan Hochman at the top, so That's the LA County. Confirming there is a real case. They are the prosecutors, including her. Saw her coming in and out of court before. And then the filing states that there is now pending in the Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles the above entitled grand jury investigation by the state of California against Target David Burke, wherein Target may be involved in having committed the following criminal offenses against the laws of the state of California, to wit, 1 count of murder. This is big. This is big because it was always a question of whether or not they were really investigating him and gathering evidence regarding a murder charge. And when I looked it up, that penal code under California, murder is the unlawful being or with malice aforethought, basically intentional killing. So while there were theories out there that Celeste had died as an accident, let's say Celeste died from a drug overdose and there was a panic and there was just an instance of trying to dispose of her body or hide her body. Remember, at one point you heard from authorities maybe there was nothing beyond just the removal of her body that was being investigated. Maybe that was the only charge. Not the case. Now they believe they have enough evidence to support a murder charge, that he intentionally killed her. And then it goes on to say how you have the 3 witnesses summoned by California are DeWood, Colleen, and Caleb Burke. So his dad, his and his younger adult age brother. And the information that's attached to Steve Fisher's tweet is in reference to DeWood Burke's court paperwork. And it says, quote, that if DeWood Burke comes into the state of California in obedience to a summons directing him to attend and testify at said grand jury investigation, the laws of the state of California and of any other state through which he may be required to pass by the ordinary course of travel to attend such proceeding, shall give him protection from arrest and the service of process, civil or criminal, in connection with matters which arose before his entrance into said state, pursuant to such summons, a round-trip airplane ticket and transportation to and from the airport. Wherefore, it is requested for on behalf of the state of California that your honor certified to the above and foregoing by the issuance of a certificate thereto under the seal of the Superior Court of Record in the state of California to compel the attendance of DeWood Burke pursuant to law. Basically outlining that he is needed to be a witness in this case. And if he shows up charged. Got this other post from Steve. Quote, court transcripts show that detectives from the LAPD robbery homicide division were in Texas to escort David to Los Angeles to testify about what they know about the suspicion that their son murdered and dismembered a 14-year-old #monster, #Celeste. Steve also posted a portion of a transcript for me. Texas court attorneys for the Burkes were arguing that their clients wanted to make sure that everything was in order and they knew about everything before they went to Los Angeles. So we're going to talk about this more. But that reads that LAPD detectives are here to that is not part of them, and that the court do those things on behalf of California. Then the judge says, okay, yes, Your Honor, if I may, just take a step back and advise the court of what we actually received this afternoon. Okay. We received from the state at the request of the state of California a certification states that there is an affidavit attached to the District of Law, a statement from the clerk, and we have, and I'm going to get more into exactly why this is significant in just a second. By the way, as we think about them testifying, what would they testify? We'll talk about that too. But also, would they plead the fifth, right? Something to think about. Here's another post from Steve. Quote, a Waller County, Texas court compelled David's parents and brother to travel to Los Angeles to appear before the grand jury on February 11th, 2026. That decision was appealed and a writ of habeas corpus was then filed on February 3rd, which was denied. It appears they have appeared before the judge, most likely invoking the fifth, but that is speculation on my part, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So see, he thinks the same thing I do. And that tweet included part of a court document which reads, the court ordered Mr. Burke to appear before the California grand jury on February 11th, 2026. The writ of habeas corpus was filed on February 3rd. The writ challenged the ex parte nature of the proceeding, meaning one-sided, deprivation process, Article 24.28, an incorrect finding that Mr. Burke's testimony was material and necessary. The court denied the writ on the merit. Again, we're going to talk all about that. But to cap off these bombshell revelations about the David case, Steve actually shared more than a page Texas court laying out what happened. Investigator, quote, Celeste Rivas Hernandez deserves better. It's infuriating that we're approaching 6 months and no charges have been filed in her murder. If the evidence hasn't been secured by now, what exactly is happening? Is this a blown investigation? We now know these monsters sawed off Celeste's arms and legs. Let's not call it dismemberment. That word sounds clinical, like a surgeon removed her limbs. This is not what happened.
Okay, so they are finally coming out with the she was dismembered in a cadaver bag and her legs and limbs were underneath. Hi Rita, baby, it's good to see you, mama. I always love that you're here.
A vicious, sick group of people brutally hacked her arms and legs off her body. Was she alive when they started? And yes, I am using plural terms because in my professional opinion, there is no way one person did this alone, whether they're participating directly or acting as an accessory. Yet only one individual is named as a target in the court filings. Like you, Neo Christopher Langston, you seen fame and threatened lawsuits. Give me the power of discovery because that may be the only way the truth comes out. I beg of you, file that defamation suit. How do people like...
Okay, so I'm going to read the SF Investigates Steve Fisher. I believe he put this on X. It's infuriating that we are approaching 6 months and no charges have been filed in her murder. If the evidence hasn't been secured by now, what exactly is happening? Is this a blown investigation? We know these monsters sawed off Celeste's arms and legs. Let's not call it dismemberment. The word sounds cynical. Like a surgeon removed her limbs. That is not what happened. A vicious, sick group of people brutally attacked her arms and legs off her body. Was she alive when they did it? When they started this? And yes, I am using plural terms because in my professional opinion, there's no way one person did this alone. Whether participating directly or acting as an accessory, yet only one individual is named as a target in the court filings. Like you, Neo Christopher Langston, you knew. I've seen family members publicly defend him and threaten lawsuits against anyone who names him. Sue me, I beg you. Please sue me. Give me subpoena power. Give me the power of discovery because that may be the only way the truth comes out. I beg you, file the defamation suit. How do people like David, Neo, and Alicia live with themselves? 6 months. Hold on. Where did I find it? Where did I find it, kids? Oh my God. I can't find it. Whatever. And it's been 6 months, there's no charges and no press conference. I side-eye that, kids. I side-eye.
David, Neo, and Asia live with themselves. 6 months, no charges, no press conference. But LAPD and the district attorney's office did issue a press release stating they had the medical examiner's autopsy and investigative findings sealed so detectives could review them first, claiming it was not meant to undermine transparency. They got that information, yet the records remain sealed. That press release misled the public. That press release was a lie. Another press release suggested the only potential criminal culpability might be concealment of a body. Talked about that before. They said that knowing Celeste's arms and legs had been sawed off. You came out press release knowing what had been done. Then they need to say that plainly. Admit that after nearly 6 months, the investigation has not produced sufficient evidence to charge David Anthony Burke or anyone else who participated or was an accessory. Admit it's a blown investigation. Admit that important evidence was left behind after the search warrant. Admit that critical surveillance was lost because nobody followed up to obtain it. Celeste's head and torso were placed in one cadaver bag. Her arms and legs were placed in another. Someone purchased cadaver bag, cut her apart, placed her remains inside those bags, put her in the trunk of a Tesla, and went on with their lives. They purchased cadaver bags. They went to the extent of purchasing cadaver bags. And still, 6 months later, there are no charges, no accountability, silence, sealed records. Threaten me with contempt all you want. I will proudly take that contempt charge for the pursuit of justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. 6 months is enough. Do your sworn duty or admit the case was failed. We need to let the LAPD and the DA's office know we are mad and this is not acceptable. And I wish her family would do the same. Here is the full 151-page court filing for anyone willing to read it. David Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Well, I'll tell you, we read through it and we're going to go through.
Scott makes a good point. It's not normal to dismember a body if it's an accident. Yeah. Preach, Scotty. NYPD, he knows this. Huh?
Through it, but obviously he's upset, understandably so. And while we do not know what is going on behind the scenes and whether or not they are about to issue an indictment and whether or not anyone's about to be arrested, you can understand his frustration and how long this is going on. And if it seems that it's just David, they may be going after. But I want to go through these court documents, try to make sense of what we're seeing. So first, we have this petition on behalf of DeWood Burke. Again, this is David's father. We've talked about this before. It's an unusual filing. You usually see habeas petitions when someone's already been convicted, they're in prison, they're trying to say that their detention's unlawful, that there's new evidence that's come out. They're trying to get their conviction out, a new trial. So this one's different. But basically the argument is their rights are being violated, to have to testify, to be compelled to be transported to another state to provide testimony. And this was held out in Waller County, Texas. There was an order from January 18th for Colleen Burke, the mother here, to appear before the Texas court to explain why she shouldn't have to appear before the grand jury in LA, why she shouldn't have to comply with the subpoena. You go to page 13, I want to bring your attention to this actual subpoena that was issued to DeWood Burke from Nathan Hochman, signed by Beth Silverman, ordering DeWood to appear before the grand jury in LA on February 11th. So you're not even just seeing Steve's interpretation of the filings. You're actually seeing it. These are actual court documents. Secret. Don't tell anyone about this. I mean, other than your attorney. Page 15. There's a court document. It's from Judge Craig Richmond, judge of the Superior Court in LA, certifying there is a grand jury proceeding in the case of David Burke, that Beth Silverman is requesting DeWood to appear and provide material and necessary testimony. What could that be? Well, we don't know exactly for sure, though. I'll get a little bit more into it. Maybe it's just the family saying, yeah, that was his Tesla. It was registered to him. But again, going back, that DeWood would get round trip airline tickets, transportation. But now I want to get into the document that Steve took a screenshot of. It is Lean, Caleb, and DeWood, with the main crux of the filings being the same, but there's some slight differences that we'll get into. But this is the real details about the case that we want to get into. Quote, it is alleged in this case that the target may be involved in the death of 14-year-old victim Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who may have been a victim of foul play. Her severely decomposed, dismembered body, there was a mixed reporting on whether it was dismembered body, was found in the front trunk of Target's Tesla on September 8th, 2025. On September 8th, 2025, at approximately 10:30 hours, Los Angeles Police Department detectives received a phone call from the manager of Hollywood Area Official Police Garage. The manager stated a black Tesla Model X had been impounded as an abandoned vehicle by the Department of Transportation on September 5th, 2025. The manager told police there was a strong smell of decay coming from the vehicle, which was attracting flies. LAPD detectives responded to the Hollywood tow yard to investigate. Detectives approached the vehicle, which was parked on the upper deck of the impound lot, and immediately noticed a smell of decaying biological material consistent with a decomposing corpse.
Is anyone is anyone like side-eyeing that no one else smelled the decay like before it went to the before it went to the impound? Like, I have questions. It had to have smelled the whole time when she was in that hot Tesla on the road. Am I lying? Like, would you have smelled that? I would've. I would've.
Coming from the front storage compartment of the vehicle. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the vehicle, and when the front storage compartment was opened, detectives observed a black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay. Utilizing black latex gloves, detectives partially unzipped the bag and observed a decomposed head and torso. Investigators and criminalists from the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner responded to the tow yard to process the decomposed body. Upon removing the cadaver bag from the front storage compartment, it was discovered the arms and legs had been severed from the body. A second black bag was discovered underneath the cadaver bag. Upon opening the second bag, the dismembered body parts were discovered. Detectives were advised that on August 26, 2025, a citizen reported the above-mentioned Tesla as an abandoned vehicle parked across from 1405 Bluebird Street. On August 27, 2025, Department of Transportation the vehicle. On September 3rd, 2025, Transportation returned the vehicle, issued a citation. September 5th, 2025, Department of Transportation David Anthony Burke in Hempstead, Texas. David, who was a singer and performing artist, was on tour at the time his vehicle was impounded. And then the next section is different for each witness, so you have differences between affidavits seen further down, like Caleb. Detectives learned that Caleb Burke is the younger brother of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. Detectives learned that Colleen Burke is the mother of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. Per several witnesses, she is instrumental to his career success and manages his business finances. Detectives learned that DeWood Burke is the father of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. And then there's a large chunk of text that is redacted. Just want to know that. From there, we have this application for writ of habeas corpus. So the basic argument is that under Texas law, a court can only force a resident to testify in another state after there is a meaningful hearing, a meaningful notice that the argument is DeWood, and maybe everybody else here, family members, never saw the full documents that would justify them to testify. Not enough justify then one should be confined or restrained, especially imprisoned, if they don't comply with a subpoena unless they have meaningful notice, a meaningful understanding of what all this. The latest is an order by the court where that habeas corpus was denied. The parts we have so far up to page 50. We go further into this filing. There's a section in this filing called Transcripts and Exhibits. This is important. I want to talk about this. And it contains the petition to appear again, as well as transcript from multiple hearings. So the first hearing was in Waller County, Texas on January 23rd, 2026. And this one only concerned Colleen there, not for some reason. Plus LAP homicide detectives testify if it was needed. Mia by proxy, she told the court, quote, "So Judge, I'm stepping into this last minute as well, but my understanding is that there is a grand jury investigation that is being conducted in California and Los Angeles County. These two individuals have been summoned to appear for purposes of the grand jury presentation. The prosecutors in Los Angeles have executed all of the paperwork that is necessary. It has gone before, I believe they call them the Superior Court judge there, who has signed off and done all the necessary certifications. And so under Texas law, Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 24.28, which is the Uniform Act to secure attendance of witnesses from without the state, are now before you for the court to make a determination that California has complied with the rules that would authorize a Texas court, you being a district court judge, to review
Wait, can we just, is he being prosecuted in Texas even though the crime was committed in California? Like, because he's living there, his parents have his parents have lived in Texas. He's currently living in Texas, but I feel like if the crime was committed in California, wouldn't it be in California? I feel like he has a better chance of being convicted in Texas, but that's nor here or there. Scotty MIPD would probably be best to answer that. I'm not gonna lie. Scott, yes, as long as justice is served, we can wait. As long as there's no additional bodies to the yeah. I don't think this was his first time. A lot depends on the date of the summons and when the body was actually in the car. It's typical to keep tagging it broken down auto to fill the quota. Yeah. Mm. Hi, Nanya. Always a pleasure, baby. Texas has the death penalty. Amen. Amy, he may have taken her to Texas. We'll have to wait and see. Good point, NYPD. Christine says, no, the only reason we have this is parents is in Texas to avoid, yep. And the only reason these documents were released in California has everything under seal. Yeah, I agree. You guys are so smart. Like, so smart.
Paperwork and then order that these witnesses appear before the grand jury in California. Then you had Ken Schaefer, who represents David's mother, had this to say, quote, so on behalf of Colleen Burke, our position is that the request or the summons and the request for issuance of the subpoena is unconstitutional in violation of the Texas and the United States constitutions in that it denies the witness Colleen Burke notice and due process in as much as Article 24.28 Section B, which governs, says that the court has to make a determination that the witness is material and necessary and that it will not cause undue hardship to be compelled to testify. All we've been served with so far is a notice to appear and necessity. We don't even know what the subject matter is that would be explored with our client, but MAG already made by a California judge. So all the Texas judge needs to do was just make sure the paperwork was all in order, tell the witnesses they need to go. And the judge says that actually, since this was so
I think they were
he
boyfriends.
didn't even have any of that paper. So they end up deciding to reschedule the hearing for several days later. And at that February 2nd hearing in Texas, you have Colleen, Caleb, and Wood. They were there with counsel. Bennett Dodson is the assistant DA of Waller County. Told anyone that Mr. David Burke is a musician who's quite famous. And this matter concerns a car that was registered to him at these witnesses' address here in Houston that had a dismembered, decomposed body in it. I'd say if a car with a dismembered, decomposing body is registered to your home address, that is something you should expect to be questioned by the authorities about.
Amen.
And that's what this is, Judge. So there you go. There you go. That's probably what they'd be forced to testify about. But the attorneys for David's family members, that everyone involved, both California and Texas, the judges, the prosecutor, it's the redacted affidavit. But their client got the redacted version. So it's limited. And they want to know what's in that. They want to know what's that big blacked out section of the petitions. And again, goes back to the legal argument. Hey, we have a right to know. Think with our freedom to go have to testify. So you have to say that most of that, saying, quote, it's all over TMZ. Goes on to say, the redacted information concerns knowledge that is only known to the grand jury, period. It has not been distributed anywhere. What was the judge's decision? Here's from the court, quote, but even when I look at it myself, I still think these witnesses are material and necessary because of the relationship that's involved with the witnesses and the defendant. So my ruling is going to be that they are to go to California and honor the subpoena by California. And the judge read out an official summons to Colleen, to Wood, Caleb, with Caleb's.
If this picture right here does not, Galera, I am feeling really, really, really good. I am extremely sore. I feel like I got hit by a Clydesdale, but everything went good, and I'm doing well. And thank you for checking up on me. It really, 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 really meant a lot to me that people just like came out and came out and supporting me, and I really, really, really appreciate you. You're a good egg, kid. Yeah, what's up, Scott? Hey, Will. My chat loves you, baby. We're talking about D4VD 6 months later, and they are finally coming to some conclusions that maybe Mr. David had something to do with this poor girl, this poor minor girl who was groomed and killed. It's awful.
Scheduled to appear before the grand jury on February 10th, DeWood Colleen, February 11th, with LA prosecuting line for all three. There you go. Some new information, seemingly some confirmations of material that we haven't had in quite some time. Obviously, we will stay on this case as we learn more. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock. We got Sidebar episodes up there too if you want to follow me.
All right,
Instagram.
Jesse, I think we're done with you. Now we are going to go over some, if you guys don't know True Crime with Strategic Eyes, he is a special victims cop currently. He is active duty and he does wonderful, wonderful work when it comes to going over court documents, and I'd love to go over him. If you guys unsubscribed over to him, please go over there and subscribe to him. He is wonderful for court documents.
This is huge information. Basically, these documents, the Burke's attempt to thwart their testimony in the grand jury has exposed us to so much information, ladies and gentlemen. If they don't charge David, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I'm going to lose faith in the justice system. I'm just going to say that I'll be very disappointed because there's a lot of evidence we're going to be getting in this case. And it looks like they're building a strong case, and I have faith, but we need justice for Celeste. Let's jump into this, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the response.
I just like to put out the fact that like the only victims in this is Celeste Rivas and Hernandez, and I think her name gets lost in all of the YouTube and creators where it becomes a circus, and we forget Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who likely had a very tumultuous lifestyle and home life, and she is the victim. Okay, I don't care what you say. I hear people talking about she's a fast girl, she's this, she's that. No, she was groomed by a man that has come out that way, and I don't know if he's guilty, innocent until proven guilty, but it's not looking good for my man. And I just want to go through court documents that are facts, and the facts say everything. And until he gets to court and a jury either says that he is guilty or not guilty, that's what it is. Everything's allegations, everything's speculation. But we're going to go over some court documents to see what the court has on him.
Response that the Burke family is putting towards California, so that they don't want to testify for the grand jury. We understand why they want to testify to the grand jury, because they probably have information that's going to incriminate David. Or at the very least, they may have to, under oath, acknowledge that they knew something that they should have known, that they should have done something about. They're probably going to have to, at the very least, acknowledge they knew that David was involved with Celeste, and they knew that Celeste was a minor. So let's jump into this. To the Honorable Craig Richmond, judge of Superior Court for the County of Los Angeles, State of California. Remember, these
If
are the
you
Burks.
guys
They're
haven't
in
gone
Texas
over and
right now.
subscribed
This is
to my homeboy Will, I know you guys all have because we're all in the same community. But if you guys haven't gone over and subscribed to Will, he is very unbiased to cases, and he tries to keep an open mind until facts are presented, and I respect that about him. And my man here, he is an active cop and he goes by documents, and I like that about him. And so we're going to go over these documents that have come out for David, and we are just going to come up with our own with our own thoughts on this. I'm open to whatever comes out. If he's not guilty, he's not guilty. But if he is, he is. It's just not looking good for my man, right?
this is their response to the California court because they don't want to go testify. The undersigned deputy district attorney of the County of Los Angeles, State of California, pursuant to the provisions of Uniform Act to secure the attendance of witnesses from without the state in criminal cases, California Penal Code Section 1334, hereby reports and certifies based on information believed as follows: that there is now pending Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles, the above entitled grand jury investigation by the state of California against target David Burke. So I think this right here, this is California trying to get them to come to California. Wow, this is going to be good. This is California to the Burks. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go. That there is now pending Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles, the above entitled grand jury investigation by the state of California against target David Burke, wherein target may be involved in having committed the following criminal offenses against the laws of the state of California. Oh, Lord of mercy. This is music to my ears. They are saying that Burke committed these offenses against the state of California. They are saying that Burke is their target. Let's keep going. Okay. 2, a grand jury investigation is currently pending in Los Angeles County Superior Court. The grand jury investigation will resume on February 4, 2026. Colleen Burke's attendance would only be required on February 11, 2026, and for as long thereafter until she is no longer needed, but for no more than 3 days. It is alleged in this case that the target, we were talking about D4.
And Glara, I just want to thank you for coming in and showing me support in one of my really hard days. That meant a lot to me. And that shows me that you're a really good guy in my eyes. And you will always have my support.
D4VD. So what we talking about right now, the target, also known as D4VD, may be involved in the death of 14-year-old victim Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And finally, somebody gets her age right. Even though she was most likely dead when she was 13, but let's keep going. Who may have been a victim of foul play. Her severely decomposed, dismembered body was found in the front trunk of Target's Tesla on September 8th, 2025. On September 8th, 2025 at approximately 10:30 hours, Los Angeles Police Department detectives received a phone call from the manager of the Hollywood area official police garage. The manager stated a black Tesla Model X has been impounded as an abandoned vehicle by the Department of Transportation on September 5th, 2025. The manager told police that there was a strong smell of decay coming from the vehicle, which was attracting flies. They took this vibrant, beautiful little girl and turned her into worm food. There must be justice in this case, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. LAPD detectives responded to the Hollywood tow yard to investigate. Detectives approached the vehicle, which was parked on the upper deck of the impound lot, and immediately noticed the smell of decaying biological material consistent with a decomposing corpse coming from the front storage compartment of the vehicle. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the vehicle, and when the front storage compartment was opened, detectives observed a black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay. Now, I believed that it was a garment bag. I was wrong. They're saying it's a cadaver bag. These folks went out their way. They went out their way. It's so easy to get a garment bag. You can go buy that in the supermarket.
Bro, they literally like thought this out to get a garment bag. Like that's premeditated, if you ask me.
You have to specially order cadaver bags, body bags. You have to specially
Anya.
order that. You had to. There is thought put into this. This is premeditated. These things just don't sit around. You have to get that from the internet. You got to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 days for that to be delivered. Those are 3, 4, 5 days that you could turn her body into the LAPD and let them know maybe that something accidental happened, or just admit that you did something wrong. This is diabolical, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. Whew. Oh my gosh. Detectives obtained a search warrant from the vehicle when the front storage compartment was open. When detectives observed a black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay. Utilizing black latex gloves, detectives partially unzipped the bag and observed a decomposed head and torso. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now confirmed that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was dismembered, ladies and gentlemen. Investigators and criminalists from the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner responded to the tow yard to process the decomposed body. Upon removing the cadaver bag from the front storage compartment, it was discovered the arms and legs had been severed from the body. A second black bag was discovered underneath the cadaver bag. Upon opening the second bag, the dismembered body parts was discovered. This is diabolical. They chopped her arms and a $2 justice confirmed. That's right, it's confirmed. They chopped her arms and her legs off. Why'd you do that, David? In my opinion, really no. Speculating, allegedly. This is in my opinion. Why did you do that, David? Why? She was just a little girl, bro. She was just a baby. Why, David? Why did you do that? I got questions, man. I don't know if he really did it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions. It's all alleged. He hasn't been charged with anything. He's innocent until proven guilty. Keep going. Wow. Detectives were advised that on August 26, 2025, a citizen reported the above-mentioned Tesla as an abandoned vehicle parked across from the 1504 Bluebird Street. On August 27, 2025, Department of Transportation officers responded to the Bluebird and marked the vehicle. On September 3rd, 2025, Department of Transportation returned to the vehicle, issued a citation. On September 5th, 2025, Department of Transportation impounded the vehicle to Hollywood Area Tow. It was noted that the Tesla was registered to target David Anthony Burke, aka D4VD, staying up there in Hempstead, Texas. David, who was a singer and a performing artist, was on tour at the time his vehicle was impounded. Detectives learned that Colleen Burke is the mother of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. For several witnesses, she is instrumental to his career success and manages his business finances. That witness, Colleen Burke, date of birth, June 11th, 1976, resides in Hempstead, Texas. We got this redacted photo. I wonder, what is a photo? Is that just a photo of Colleen? I wonder what is a photo of. I hate the redactions. Well, let's keep going. That if Colleen Burke comes in the state of California in obedience, I love it. I love how they talk in the law. Obedience to a summons directing her to attend and testify at said grand jury investigation, the laws of the state of California, any other state through which she may be required to pass by the ordinary course of travel to attend such said proceeding, shall give him protection from arrest and the service of process, civil or criminal, in connection with matters which arose before her into said. 10, that Colleen Burke is an adult. 11, that the prosecution will provide the witness a round-trip airplane ticket and transportation to and from the airport. Wow. And then they certified and they swear this in. 1/15/2026. This case is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. This case is heating up. This case is heating up. Now, I wanted to show you guys this other one. This was brought to my attention by the research crew. Apparently, Aisha, Aisha Collins, the one that looked like a gazelle, prancing around in the prairie, when that lion of justice is stalking her, because I think she might have something to do with this. I think, my opinion means absolutely nothing. That if she didn't have nothing to do with this, she at least knew that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a minor. Wow, girl, huh? Aren't girls to stick together? What are we gonna get for that? Stick together, girl power.
Not for nothing, like there's minors and then there's babies. This little girl was 13, 14 years old when she got like wrapped up in him. Okay, she was 13 or 14-year-old. To me, that's a baby. Okay, it's not just like a minor. She wasn't like 17, almost 18. She was a baby. She got involved with this man at 11 years old, and there's proof by video. So let's call it what it is.
This girl knew that her friend David was molesting and abusing, in my opinion, a minor. She said nothing. That's just my opinion. She said nothing. Well, let's see what she has to say, because she decided she wanted this genius. You never argue with Reddit. There was a time that Reddit came for me. Who's been around for a long time? Who remember what has to say? But Reddit came for me one time. It turned out that when I was covering Madeline Soto, one of the biggest Madeline Soto Reddit pages was being run by a file. And so Reddit, but it wasn't Reddit, because Reddit is cool. I like Reddit. It was a pedophile that infiltrated them. And it's not their fault. Pedophiles get into schools. They get everywhere, right? Of course he'd be mad at the sex crimes detective. But I learned a valuable lesson that day. Regardless of who it is, never, ever challenge Reddit. Never challenge Reddit. Just ignore them if they say something you don't like, because you will lose. I just happened to win that one. Why did I win that one? Because Reddit came to my rescue. It was Reddit that exposed that pedophile, and then they came to my rescue. They said, strategic. We have found out that this pedophile who's running this page is coming for you, and now we got all the facts, and we've come to save you. So Reddit came for me and then saved me. Shot Reddit for saving strategic, okay? Now, that being said, Aisha wants to come for Reddit. So let's see what she has to say. So he says, hi, this is Aisha. What's up, Aisha? How you doing? Yes, it's actually my account. I just wanted to come on here, say a few things, because a lot of things have gotten out of hand. I have made it clear on multiple platforms that I'm no longer friends with David, aka D4VD. As for talk about things, I'm respecting the investigation, as well as Celeste Rivas. You guys do not know everything going on as much as you have done digging. I am also lost as well. The harassment has gotten horrible. Oh, because whatever you're going through, sweetheart, your little gazelle running around and fawning in the fields while the lion of justice is watching you and stalking you. Yeah, whatever you got going on is just much worse than what happened to Celeste. Because the internet people is being mean to you. We should feel sorry for you. Look to her. her up about that. It's all about Aisha. Come on, it's all about Aisha. Let's see. Listen to more of this. Hold on. Where's my? Hold on here. I need some music, man. I'm sorry, guys. I need some background music. So lost right now. I think. Oh my God, did I delete my background music? I think I did. Shame on me. Oh my God, I deleted my background music. Oh my God. I should be ashamed of myself. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, we got to keep going. The show has to go on. Strategic deleted his folder that had all of his sound effects in it. I feel lost now. I feel naked. We'll have to fix that. We got to rebuild it. Guys, please send me some sound effects. Send me sound effects in the email, all right? They got to be the MP3 files, by the way. Send me some sound effects because I deleted my sound effects. What a loser. Let's keep going. Yeah. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. All right. So let's keep going. Maybe we'll hold that. All right. Get my sound effects. I have to. I can't see it.
Question is how much cocaine?
This is the story.
Who told that to play? Get out of here. There we go. This should suffice. Oh, beautiful. Love it. Aisha, we're coming. It's so sad, Aisha. We I don't put it on the loop. That violin music on loop. I mean, that is nice. There you go. Oh, beautiful. All right, now let's get to business. Let's get to business. So she said, you guys don't know everything going on as much as you have done your digging. I'm also lost as well. The harassment has gotten horrible. I have people being extremely misogynistic and terrible towards me because of things they believe to be true, but not actually having any facts. I only want justice for Celeste Rivas. As a young girl's life was taken, I myself have been a victim of grooming. Oh my God, it's all about her now. Oh gosh, you're alive, sweetheart. No, here we go. We gotta get back into this. I myself has been a victim of grooming and often felt when I was younger that I had a mature demeanor and grew up fast. I know you all don't know me, but it also means you don't know me personally or nature, or my personality or nature. The post that was put on here that picked on everything in my life was not necessary. What post is this? Somebody sent me that post. Maybe we can find it. All
Oh my
I was
God.
doing was nitpicking
What did I do?
every single job I've ever done. Oh, they broke down all her modeling gigs.
Oh my God. What did I do? I'm new here.
Gigs, I guess. She's like a
Oh my God. What did I do?
2025 video vixen.
Okay. Oh my God.
I don't understand what's wrong with working hard, showing my pretty face and just prancing around like a little gazelle in the plains. As for an OnlyFans, the moment I started it, I entered it. She was on OnlyFans showing the bunkie. Oh my gosh, man, the hustle is real. She was showing her bunkie on OnlyFans. Oh my God. All right, let's keep going, man. Damn, these kids do anything for money. I was scared, and it wasn't who I was. It also didn't reflect things I was comfortable with. But growing up poor and around the lot of sex work makes you think you'll behave yourself there like that. And I just wasn't. I didn't put hard to get rid of things. Seeing those pictures of me, I started trying to eat. I'm trying to eat her. You name it. Wait, now, guys, please. In all seriousness, hold on. Let me pause this real quick. You have to be serious. Nobody should be harassing this woman on this level, if it even happened, though. I'm just saying. It's, you know, They threatened to eat her. But seriously, don't stalk this lady. Don't send her death threats. Like I've always said, people who do stuff like that, like I'm a commentary show and I like to crack jokes. So I'm having a good time. But I would never threaten her life. And anybody who does that deserves to go to jail. They deserve to go to jail. I'll take the glasses off and the hat, and I'm dead serious right now. Anybody who's out there threatening people, you deserve to go to jail. Point blank, period. Anybody who's stalking, showing up to real people's real lives, you deserve to go. You're a weirdo. And the law needs to deal with you. Okay? Let the criminal justice system do its job. Clearly, they're doing their job. You don't need to get it. Now, that being said, the crybaby. Let's get back to her statement. Let's keep going. They threatened to eat her. Okay, let's keep going. Yet people don't know how hard I'm working in silence to bring justice to Celeste in the ways that I can. I would appreciate if people actually sat back and thought about the harassment you're bringing people who have nothing to do with this case. This will be the only time I'll be speaking on this until I'm ready. Thank you. I understand everyone's curiosity and frustration. All right, I want to meet the 96 people who uploaded this, but let's keep going. So Aisha, what was David's explanation when Celeste wasn't around anymore after January 2nd? You met Celeste more than once. We both know that. Have you been cooperating with police? All she has to do is say, I'm cooperating with the police. She doesn't have to, but it'd be nice if she said that. All right, so that's what we got with that. That was Aisha's response. I think that was a horrible response, and she was probably better off not saying anything. She's just better off not saying anything, okay? But I do have to agree. Don't threaten that girl. Don't threaten her. I don't believe that she murdered Celeste. I just believe that her and everybody else in that circle knew that David was messing with a minor, and they did nothing about it. They did nothing about it. Let's see what this lost environment person had to say, because they got a long post. Sometimes when people write a lot, maybe it's good. So we'll choose this one post right here out of all these posts, and let's see what they have to say. Lost environment. It literally doesn't even matter if it actually her or not, even though I do believe this post to be sincere and legit, because the sentiment remains the same regardless. Nobody here knows what actually happened yet, who is involved, or is so, the extent in which their involvement goes. In all honesty, we likely won't ever have every answer to every question, but none of that makes it okay to act the way a lot of y'all have this entire time. Out of everyone involved in this case, so many people on this sub have singled out Aisha in a way that honestly, oh, shut up. Sorry. No, they're right. Don't pick on Aisha. Don't pick on her, okay? Don't pick on Aisha. What they got going on here? I have nothing against sex workers, but I do have something against you, though. You're upset over my post, but it's true. You were with David the day the body is found, the day the body is identified, the day the tour is canceled, and you continue to post things that come off as supportive of David. Make this make sense. So let's see what this person posted right here. So this is her. So what they're saying is, listen, you have been supporting David. So how are you playing both sides? All right, let's see what evidence they have to prove that. So it says, bro, this is my friend's girlfriend. Is there a way you can confirm she's 13? What the F? You're lying. This investigation ongoing. I will speak on things when I can and feel ready. Please respect my privacy and allow for the police to do their job. Then it says, for legal and safety reasons, I do not feel comfortable talking about the case. I will speak about it in due time. In the meantime, I suggest you don't believe everything you see online. Then it says, since people are being super disrespectful, I'll clarify some things. I did not know the girl nor her age. Makes you rest in peace. That's a lie. In my opinion, that's a lie. And this is the stuff that made people upset with you, Aisha, because you're lying. Like you didn't know Celeste. Of course you knew Celeste. And it says, I have never posted any videos with Celeste Rivas. Only my friends Vanessa and Celeste Herrera will commonly be mistaken as Celeste Rivas. Everyone wants to act like TikTok detectives. You can't tell the difference between people of color. Let's pack it up, y'all. Well, yeah, I'm blacker than you, and I don't believe you. Let's keep going. She won't put the race card. I can put the race card. I'm old black, baby. Let's keep going. Once again, if you said this stuff, it's not like I just put this under the door. Okay, so this, I want to see what is the other post that they're talking about. Where are these, like, where's this? So this person said that you're upset with my post, right? So let me go. Maybe I'm really not a Redditor. So how can you see what a person on Reddit has posted? Okay, so is this like their thing? So person, this is 2 hours ago. You can buy cadaver bags on Amazon. Yes, you can. You're welcome. This is actually Nor. Did she not Asia? Asia chose some questionable Halloween outfits though. This is it right here. What we got here? Nope. All right, go back. This person be spending a lot of time on Reddit. What's the person? Let's keep going. It's like a culture over there, man. Hanging out. Let's keep going. What is this? All right, here again. Another coincidence. A freestyle with lab. All right. Well, I don't know which is Celeste. I don't know where. Oh, okay. Here we go. So Aisha launches new TikTok and posts new boyfriend reveal and repeats wearing David hoodie. Okay. I actually got 9,000 likes but only 22 followers. How does that? I think these people be buying likes and stuff like that. Okay. This guy looked like he want to chop somebody up too. He looked crazy too. Okay, let's keep going. People be desperate. Like I'll be like, yo, what's your name? Oh, my name is Aisha. Aisha what? Aisha Collins? Oh shit, I'm good. Holla at me when I got proof you're not indicted. All right, SF investigates. Steve Fisher says, hey, hashtag D4VD, were you sitting on this hill next to a drainage gully thinking about what you did to her? Were you thinking about how it looked and sounded when you sawed her body into pieces? Damn, FS is not playing, bro. He is not playing. Big shout out to everybody who's watching the show right now. We have over almost 550 people on this live stream. Please hit that like button, support the channel. Help us get into that algorithm. Hello there says, if you click her profile and comments, she talks about how Celeste was hidden from her and harassing David after she found out her age. Wait. What are you talking about? If you click her profile and comments, whose profile? You're killing me. Please clarify. I want to know what you're talking about. Whose profile? Figure that out for me, guys. Aisha's profile, but I need her link. What's her link? Because that was just a Reddit picture thing. Like, somebody give me the link to her actual page. To her actual page. Somebody give me the link. Somebody says Plenty's in the chat. Well, I was cracking jokes on you, Plenty. So don't get mad. Don't come for me because you don't start trouble with Reddit. I'm sorry, Plenty. I cracked jokes on you. I said you be on Reddit a lot. I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Don't come.
Does that make sense?
Amanda said, I became a white shield today. Rest in peace. All right, Celeste. Absolutely. Thank you so much for upgrading to a white shield. Appreciate you. If you click her profile comment, she talks about, all right, so guys, get me that link to Celeste's profile so I can click it. And I can, see what you guys are talking about here. Big shout out to Amanda Beach. So I'll be waiting for that. Let's go over to SF Investigate. So these are the pictures. And you got that knife there. When I said praying for you, left mode, there's no link. See if you can find it, maybe, unless she took her page down. And you guys can email it to me at strategicguys@gmail.com. And we'll definitely be able to check that out. Here we go. Boom. We see here. What is this? Davis murder. All right, we're going to jump in this with this real quick.
Now at 1:30, breaking news. Newly unsealed court records in connection to the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal that singer David is now being investigated for her murder. Documents also provide horrifying new details in this case.
KTLA's Aaron Myers live in our newsroom with more on this breaking story. Aaron. Court
Should we go over the Kelsey hearing? The Kelsey hearing and the documents of her house being broken into is unbelievable. I'm about it.
Documents made public in the alleged homicide of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal gruesome new details about the death of the teenager, identifying the singer David as the investigation's central. The documents were made public through Texas appellate proceedings and are tied to the Los Angeles County grand jury murder investigation targeting David Burr. Investigator posted the documents on his X account. The documents were filed under seal but were made public after Singer's family challenged subpoenas compelling them to testify before a California grand jury. Los Angeles Magazine says the proceedings in Texas weren't sealed, so portions of the California filings were available in the Texas appellate docket. Hernandez's remains were found in September of last year inside the front trunk of a Tesla registered to the singer David at a tow yard in Hollywood. Employees contacted police after noticing a strong odor coming from the car.
Wow.
The filing showed detectives.
My mind is still blown that it was two body bags. Two body bags. One with the head and the torso, the other one with the arms and the legs. I'm not going to lie to you. That kind of broke my heart. Just the disrespect for her body. It's messed up, man.
Found a cadaver bag containing human remains along with other body parts in a second bag. The documents also work as the investigation, saying he may be involved in one character. The singer's father, mother, and brother who live in Texas.
Look at this guy. Listen, art imitates. Like this is like one of those you really feel moments. I made but music about death. Specifically.
The thing is, his videos and all of the things, he literally like foreshadowed what he did allegedly to Celeste. Like, I don't, I do you guys side eye that?
Killing his girlfriend. Specifically about killing his girlfriend. I mean, what more of a confession are you looking for?
Were summoned to testify in Los Angeles on February 11th, but David's father filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus. The subpoena violated his constitutional due process rights. His lawyers claim he denied process. Get full on Ruppy's California magazine. In the documents, detectives say David and his father have a close relationship. The Texas First Court of Appeals rejected the petition, according to Los Angeles Magazine, telling the family they had until yesterday to file additional appeals.
The Court of Appeal in Texas was very clear in telling David's mother, his father, and his brother that they must appear in front of the grand jury in California. They found that their information would be both material and necessary in terms of this investigation.
As of now, it does not look like anything new was filed in court before the deadline. So David's family may have already testified, according to our legal expert, Allison.
Okay, that's interesting. It's possible. It's definitely possible. Let's go ahead over here. And I think actually you guys sent me the link. Let's cover that one first. I want to see now, who am I clicking? Widow massages in the sub. You said this is the link here. OP. I'm just trying to figure out where to find what you guys. So hold on here. Aki's over here like losing her freaking mind. in the top, click comment. Click comments. Okay. In the top. Got you. And then it says, all right, y'all are rude. F. I'm deleting this app. Boom. So read these right over here. Okay. Just read down everything here. Okay. I thought many documents have been posted many days, but how was I supposed to know who he was around if I wasn't with him? Oh, okay. I see here. Yeah, this is a gold mine over here. Y'all get mad at me. First of all, I'm old. That's discrimination. Y'all discriminating against me because I'm getting older. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with these people? Anyway, then the person said, who is this person? So is this, is this Aisha? Oh, Aisha. Cool. You know what? I couldn't understand the name. Oh, so this is, it's got an aha moment. Oh, so this is Aisha Collins. He call it Aisha Collins. Okay, I get it. Okay. All right. All right. We all on the same page now. Okay. Let's just read Aisha's comments to these various people on Reddit. So then she says, how am I supposed to know who he was around if I wasn't with him? Well, we got mad videos of you hanging out with this dude. Okay, so let's keep going though. I didn't see anything in his crib. Don't you guys think if it was in the house, he would have hidden it from people if he was guilty? Okay, this is, and Plenty is getting in her arse. She got to respond to These Plenty because These Plenty is not playing. Okay. Then she says, y'all seriously need to reread what you asked me. I want to see, what did These Plenty tell her? Whatever, let's keep going. There were many, they were my homeboys. Never said at one point I wasn't closer with them. Then she says, real sexist to bring anything about looks into this case. And then she says, I didn't know who she was. I met her once for 5 minutes. Is that knowing her? I don't think so personally. And the hoodie thing is dumb. It's my hoodie, not his. He just wore it one time. I think this is a lie. It looks like Reddit agrees. They ratioed her something serious. Then it says, girl, I do not know. It could be murder. Nothing has been confirmed yet. I feel lost. And then she says, many users have tried defending me. I've had a couple even show me their deleted posts like this one. Whoever is moderating these channels is deliberately trying to make me look disrespectful and bad. I know people want to point fingers and blame people who are close to David, but things aren't always as they seem. Okay. I haven't heard anything about a gag order, so I don't know how, unless she testified in grand jury, I don't know how she can't say, hey, I don't screw around with David. He's not my boy. And I'm cooperating. That's all she has to say. People will leave her alone. If you're watching this, Aisha, because I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Like a gazelle. Prancing around. She's a fairy. But a line of justice is stalking her. Okay, I know you're watching. All you have to do is just say, listen, I'm cooperating. Just say, hey, listen, I'm cooperating. I'm going to do everything in my power to help get justice for Celeste. I'm working with the police right now, and that's why I cannot talk about this case. And that's it. I guarantee you everybody will leave you alone. I will leave you alone. If you come out and you say that, I don't bother her. I talk about her very infrequently, but I will cease to talk about her if she says she's cooperating with law enforcement. Let's keep going. She says, and you know how? Oh, from stuff you've seen online, but okay, you can tell she's very immature. I'm not trolling. I didn't just make this account. This has been my account. This isn't a feel sorry for me post. This is a post, an update on everything going on. A mild explanation for those frustrated. Just because I'm not dead doesn't mean I couldn't also end up that way. The way that Celeste Rivas ended up is horrible. And I hope that there's some way, somehow, we put the right people behind bars. I understand you were curious, but I wasn't around. Do you guys want me to just be depressed all day and do nothing? The word, a story. So she said, cherry blossoms in Japanese name girl. They got a sushi joint named after, what's the name? Sakura. They do. I love Sakura sushi. You guys eat Sakura sushis all over the country. It's delicious. We got 2 Sakuras up by my house. You could clearly see the way that they interacted with David when they were live, that they were grifting. Out to increase their online presence, to make money. Just like Diddy didn't have to answer any questions to anybody around him, just like R. Kelly didn't have to answer any questions to anyone around him. You guys think David had to show her multiple IDs? For what? Were you going to call the cops on him? What were you going to do? He wasn't calling nobody. Just like Rob didn't call nobody. Just like the Burks didn't call nobody. David was the cash cow. David was feeding all of y'all. David was your meal ticket. Anyway, let's keep going. These people think we're fools, ladies and gentlemen. David named his target a grand jury murder probe in Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death. A petition filed by prosecutors named the singer a grand jury target after a teen's remains were found in a Tesla registered to him. Wow. I don't think we need to jump back in this because it's going to give us information we've already went over. So we'll go over and fly over to the last bit, which is our sidebar. We're going to listen to Jesse Weber. I love this guy.
Documents reveal that singer David is officially a murder suspect, and there is a criminal case being pursued against him in connection with the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And, unfortunately, these documents also reveal apparent new and disturbing details about her dismembered body. Welcome.
All right, big shout out to Rockman, $2 super chat says, why would anyone need multiple IDs? That alone is sus. That's true. It's definitely sus. Big shout out to everybody who's watching us right now. We've got, 677 people watching this live stream right now. That's a lot of people showing love to the channel. Please hit that like button, support the channel so we can get into the algorithm. Maybe we could get an additional 677 people. So please hit that like button, support the channel. David was the bank of David. All right. You're not snitching on the bank of David. You wasn't seeing multiple. You just mind your business. I'll give you that. I just think you just mind your business. That's what you did. You just turned a blind eye. You said, all right, well, it is what it is. I got to eat. Didn't Tupac make a song about that? You got to operate the easy way. I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way. Selling crack to the kids. I got to get paid. Well, hey, that's the way it is. That's how people operate. They got to
killing of Celeste or the removal of her body. There was an arrest in terms of somebody being brought there to testify. But here's the big part. You've heard reports of a grand jury being impaneled. You've heard reports of David being considered a suspect, but nothing official. There's been so much that authorities haven't been revealing about this investigation. But right now.
What hood you from? Care Bear says, in the hood, we call David a truck. I never heard that kind of terminology.
What?
That's interesting. Big shout out to Joy Connolly with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, Joy. You are amazing, man. Big shout out to you. Let's keep going, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get in the algorithm. Let me get 500 likes. Come on. We have 468. We have almost 700 people watching this right now. Let me get 500 likes. Let's keep going.
Steve Fisher, the private investigator who had been investigating this case on the ground, demanding justice, who may have testified in front of the grand jury himself, by the way, although we can't officially confirm.
All right, so I'm going to take a poll. Do you guys want to go into the Kelsey Fitzsimmions hearing? This is kind of like a mosh posh of cases. And Kelsey Fitzsimmions had a hearing yesterday. And I would love to go over that. She actually had her house broken into, and she, by I believe her baby daddy, breaking and entering. They stole its passport. They stole all the things. And so I'd like to kind of go over that. What do you guys think? Sure? None of your business. Done. All right. Let's go over it.
So you just mark it out, that's all. And did you put a request in for it? Well, here's the thing, I mean, when you register, you have it happen, everything else, you should always alert. You always alert the court that this is what you want to do, so that we can ensure that if there are other people enforcement also being live streamed, that we're not having more than one, because obviously the whole email us for one. So as long as you go work it out, everyone's gonna do it, and it's just on that. We don't have to. Okay.
All right. We're going to kind of skip. We have a Tim Bradle in the house.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Margaret School, we have Kelsey Fitzsimmions as well. All right, good afternoon.
Judge, can I ask as a preliminary matter, Ms. Kelsey submitted to join, Ms. Fitzsimmions might be clear to join us.
No, I only do that for a change of plea, a trial, or an evidentiary motion to suppress, and I don't see why I should treat her. So the answer is, I do it for one person. I have to be.
All right, if I need some time with her, Judge, I'm just gonna ask for it.
Which, of course you can. You can go talk to her. As much as you'd like. Okay, so.
Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Back in October, that we could try it anytime. So let's do that.
So Judge, a couple of things on that. We think that's a little pre. That sort of ready for trial.
Have you filed?
Yes.
Okay.
So two of them were filed on August 26th. Happy to give counsel for Commonwealth some leeway. This was filed, I believe, last week, November 21st. And so if counsel needs more time on that one, we certainly don't have a problem with it. And I will grant you, I'll acknowledge that Commonwealth's given me a pretty fair amount of information that we're going through. But as you can imagine, and as I know you know, that sort of begs for questions about more discovery.
Well, what is, I have one motion here for specific discovery.
Well, Judge, I filed two motions on August 26th, and I have copies of them here.
And what are they entitled?
There's a motion for court order disclosure and release arraignment, and then Commonwealth may all be in compliance with some of that or most of it.
It's a little like light.
Sorry.
Okay. The camera is allowed in the courtroom, but it has to be silent. No exceptions. Thank you.
The first one is the motion for exculpatory discovery, and that is essentially a Graham McFarland request regarding certifications by the Office of Prior, and that is a predicate Rule 17 for that, so a good faith basis, if any, to finish. And my brothers tell me that that's complied with.
Okay.
And I have, I'll defer to him on that.
Okay.
No. I think I comply with my obligations under that first motion. There is in there in the first motion that I do not agree to.
Okay.
Go through them if we'd like, but other than that, we have a list of questions that we ask every potential witness, police officer,
right,
database, but that has all been complied with.
Okay.
But if he wants to talk about the first motion, I'm happy to do that. No action has been taken.
Which, when you say first, I've got three motions here.
Motion for exculpatory evidence.
Okay.
Exculpatory discovery.
The Graham McFarland request. And, you know, it's also obviously a Brady request as well. So I think it's more than just, you know, Graham McFarland. It's any exculpatory evidence that's known to the Commonwealth, whether it's the Commonwealth the prosecution team or the police team as well.
So, Mr. Gubitosi, the motion for exculpatory discovery.
Yes.
What is it that you object to?
I object to number 1C.
Okay.
Number 1D. Number 1H, I.
Okay, hold on.
And J.
C. D. H. I. And J.
And then that's on number 1.
Right.
Number 2. He wants me to certify in writing that I have made every I don't think I have an obligation to do that.
Right.
We did that on every single case. We do have a database. We do have a process. We do ask each individual officer these questions, but we do that on every single case in the county. That's thousands of cases to some 80 some odd prosecutors every day.
Well, and it doesn't include all of the prosecutors that have passed through the office that have come and gone over the course of the years. Are you suggesting, Mr. Bradel, that the Commonwealth needs to contact each and every prosecutor that has ever worked in the district attorney's office throughout the officer's tenure?
No, Judge.
Well, that's what the motion asks for.
No, it doesn't, Judge. It asks them to have, maybe they could use a computer database. Maybe they can log, just like, you know, lawyers have record-keeping responsibilities. Lawyers have conflict checks. There's all sorts of things that are precedent.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, come on, Amy.
And for this kind of a thing, when a prosecutor has a case where some questionable police activity has arisen, prosecutors can easily document that in this case, Officer Jones was found to be not credible by Judge.
And that, but the officers, two Frank's hearing requests a month in this session, 2 or 3. Most of them are not allowed. Occasionally they are. And just because there is a Frank's hearing does not mean that there was a finding that anyone gave any false information.
Sure.
So how would anyone determine that?
Well, Judge, again, these are record keeping requests. And
But who keeps a database of that
so
for the last 10 years?
when you're a prosecutor in a district attorney's office and you finish a case, you're required to follow office procedures to close out the file.
Right.
And there's no reason why a prosecutor's office ought to exercise willful blindness about these issues.
So you feel that it's up to you to decide how the district attorney's office conducts its business?
It's up to me to decide.
Did you work in the Essex County DA's office? Say that this is how a DA's office ought to be conducted?
I don't think it's a obscure position, Your Honor. A public is just to close out obligations under the law, but FOIA, under record keeping for all sorts of things about what happened with the case.
Well, I understand, but Mr. Gubitosi has represented that he's gone back and searched. They have a process. I'm sure that he'll advise you as to what the process is. But in terms of them producing evidence that is in their possession, custody, and control, he can only produce what he can search for. And the fact that you disagree, maybe you do, with the way in which they keep records or the type of records that they keep is not an issue that I'm going to decide. I don't know of any case law that says that I'm the one, or you for that matter, to decide how the district attorney's office keeps records. And in fact, I'm not going to order anybody to retroactively go back and search records from, I don't know how long the officers who are witnesses in this case have been police officers in this county, but do you know, Mr. Gubitosi, off the top of your head?
I know one of them's 20-something years.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that I can ask them to search records they don't have, but there is whether the officer has ever attended or presented at a law enforcement training by the private vendor.
Just before we jump off of that one.
Yeah.
All the Commonwealth has to do is ask the officers. There's 4 officers that were at the scene.
Right.
They can ask 4 officers, exculpatory evidence. We have every right to all these things under Graham McFarland and under Brady.
What case says you have a right to find out whether any police officer on any case has ever refused to answer questions?
A police officer in our case, Your Honor.
No. In this case, what is the precedent? You've got to cite, where is the case or statute that says that a police department has to disclose to you or to anyone else when an officer declines to answer questions? There are a lot of reasons for that, I can assure you. And I'm not aware of any records that are kept of that. And I can assure you that it would never be admissible under any circumstances. So I'm having a hard time with the concept that the DA's office or the police department has to supply you with the fact that an officer 15 years ago declined to answer questions after a shooting at the scene, but 2 days later answered the questions, for example. Happens quite frequently. So I am reluctant to say, I doubt there's any police agency that keeps records like that. I don't know of any, but certainly the district attorney's office doesn't keep records like that.
Your Honor, I certainly am not telling you anything you don't know, but just put it out there on the record. When an officer takes the fifth, so to speak, it's been found that a truthful answer would incriminate them. So it's incriminating information.
Who's made that finding? That's an interesting concept, because I probably represented thousands of officers at interviews, and I yet to have or even hear of someone making a determination that that person had a Fifth Amendment privilege or not. My experience has been that the department offers people a rights form, and if the department has made or ascertained that the person has a self-incrimination right, far be it from a lawyer to question that when the prosecuting or investigating agency is doing that. So again,
it's built into the law of the Fifth Amendment, Your Honor, that you can only take the amendment when a truthful answer will incriminate you.
that's assuming you're ordered to, and that's assuming that the order also encompasses the nuances presented by the state Constitution, which requires transactional immunity to overcome it under Carney versus Springfield. So it's not as simple as you make it sound. But let's get back to the fundamental issue. Does the district attorney's office keep records of any officers that have ever invoked their rights at any proceeding that the district attorney's office is aware of?
No.
Okay. And if, with regard to the police department, Mr. Bradel, I'm not aware of whether they keep records of that or not, but I am certainly familiar with the fact that even if that were true of a particular officer, it certainly is not admissible.
Judge Rand McFarland has a whole host of things that are not admissible, or an optimistic defense counsel might say not yet admissible, but that's not a exclusionary factor, Your Honor. So you can't really go there. And these are all, we don't need to pretend like the officers are in Alaska. They're down the street.
No, I understand.
Commonwealth can ask them all these things.
But does that case say that all records pertaining to an officer, any officer who has ever invoked his or her rights, either under the Fifth Amendment or Article 12, records have to be kept and they have to be disclosed? Does the case of Okay. And what about whether the officer has ever testified in a motion to suppress, which the motion was allowed because the officer violated? It's pretty broad in terms of violating the defendant's rights, but assuming we could refine it a little bit,
sure.
Does the case say that you must produce that? And who's charged with keeping those records?
Your Honor, Brady says we have to produce that. The Constitution says we have to.
On any motion to suppress that was ever allowed.
An officer is found to be not credible.
Well, hold on. Those are two different things here. The fact that a motion to support or made false statements, they're two different things. People make mistakes. The purpose of the exclusionary rule is to deter police conduct, but not every motion to suppress is allowed because a judge finds that an officer lied. Yes, the motions are allowed because the court justified, but that doesn't mean that the court found that an officer lied. In fact, I'd say most of the time that's not the case.
We're not talking about a legal ruling about an officer's conduct. We're talking about when an officer's been found not credible. And that's what we're looking at, Judge.
Your correct of decisions, judges saying that officers state. Okay.
So, and you seem huge because what right is much different than what he's saying.
Did you check the data for what I just outlined?
Yes, and we ask officers, and he knows this. We ask these officers a whole host of questions.
Okay.
About whether they have convictions or convictions, references, how to criminalize against them for reporting criminal investigation, discrimination.
Okay.
Findings that you have engaged in untruthfulness or misconduct implicating credibility.
And have those questions been asked of the witnesses in this case?
Yes.
Have you provided any information that's responsive to those questions?
Yes,
So what's the complaint, Mr. Bradel?
Well, that's what is side with it. And
Just
got up, seemed to be to correct me on that. Where we are. Is it comply with it? The motion speaks for itself, Your Honor. I just want to know what the Commonwealth is objecting to.
The list of questions that you asked?
Counsel objected to 2C, citing their constitutional rights. We had a little bit of a debate about that. I think that's judge a firing offense. I believe that assistant attorneys general have fired for that. I believe officers have been taking the fifth.
Really?
I think it's in
the absence of transactional immunity, officers have been fired.
I think it's
Read Carney versus
saying, if I answer that question, the truthful answer will incriminate me. So I think under Graham McFarland, I think that's certainly
the case doesn't say it.
Indiscoverable.
The case doesn't say it. I don't agree with you. Carney versus Springfield says otherwise. Okay, and I don't agree. So, Mr. Gubitosi, have you provided a list of the questions that you have asked to the officer, or can you provide a list of questions that you asked to defense counsel? Of course. Okay. And if the answer to all questions is no, and they've asked them, I'm not seeing anything that would indicate otherwise in this case. Then you need to examine the questions, and if you feel there's something that wasn't covered, then you can refine your motion. But I am not going to allow, and I don't think I agree with your law, that whether or not an officer is refused to answer questions, citing constitutional rights is something that you're entitled to. In the immediate aftermath of critical incidents, officers often advantage themselves of the fact that the police department does not have transactional immunity so that they can have an opportunity to speak, sometimes within 24 or 48 hours. Happens all the time. And in fact, officers are often interviewed thoroughly thereafter. So the case does not say that if you refuse to answer questions, it is fireable. In fact, it says quite the contrary. The police department does not have the ability to grant transactional immunity. Only the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the district attorney's office, or the attorney generals have that ability. So to suggest that a chief of police or commissioner could fire someone for invoking their rights without giving them transactional immunity is incorrect. And so as to the extent you're asking for that, it's denied. Now,
the next one is D.
Yeah.
Whether the officer is subject of a pending internal affairs investigation or any internal affairs investigations into the officer's conduct, whether these have resulted in sustained findings of misconduct. I'm not sure why there's an objection there.
Well, the way it reads is different than the way he said it.
Okay.
If there is a sustained finding, absolutely.
Sure.
Okay. And there hasn't been in this case.
Okay.
With any of the officers that are involved.
Okay. So that's the answer to that. And as far as the other questions, it seems to me H and I are covered by the questionnaire, but J.
Well, no, H, if I might just say, H and I, if you're going to deny them, but they're different than what he's saying.
No, I is only, you only need to respond to I if there's been a finding by a judge that there was a misstatement in the search warrant affidavit, not whether or not defense counsel has filed a Frank's motion, because that happens routinely, and routinely the matters don't even reach an evidentiary hearing. And even if they do, it often doesn't result in a finding that there was any untruthfulness. So yes, if there has been a Frank's finding by a judge that an officer, any of these officers, made false statements in a search warrant affidavit, yes, you've asked about that, and yes, that has to be produced.
Of course.
Okay.
But H, if we can just get back to that, because we talked about that a little, and if the way counsel is talking about it, if there's been an adverse finding of credibility, of course we turn that.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer.
Right.
We do that. But that's not what that said.
No, not every, I am not going to order the production of any motions to suppress that were allowed for any reason. First of all, it's almost impossible to ascertain that. And secondly, how many district courts in this county, Mr. Gubitosi?
7.
7. Well,
Yeah, but you can ask the officer, Your Honor.
Well,
The officer is
he
right
has,
there. You can
and if
say-
I agree with you, if there was a finding that the officer made a false statement, you're entitled to that. But the fact that an officer thought that he or she had reasonable suspicion to conduct a pat frisk and a judge disagrees does not mean that the officer was found to be untrue.
Who thinks that the baby daddy that broke into Kelsey's house is going to get any charges? My assessment is that he's not. He's a fucking criminal and he's not going to get brought up in charges.
But yes,
I agree with you.
in the course
we don't
of
need to debate it. I agree with you.
Okay, so I think we're fine. Now, Jay, you know,
I just have no idea.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, and then they can answer that. They don't know about it, they don't know about it. That's the answer. I'm happy with that.
Okay. Now, is there, Mr. Gubitosi, when did you get meeting 35, the motion for specific discovery?
Friday.
Okay. Are you prepared to respond to it?
Try.
Okay. Is there anything in there that you object?
Yes.
Okay, and what is that?
Yeah.
Again, there are portions of number 2. And the Commonwealth will provide all witness statements.
Okay.
This is overbroad.
Okay.
Number 4A, excuse me, 4 is asking
People are
for
so fucking corrupt.
any and all footage from the North Andover Police Department on June 30th during the time of which Ms. Fitzsimmions was at the station. And we've already talked about that.
I agree.
They asked me a bit ago. They didn't ask me in time, so the footage is gone. But it just doesn't save longer than I think it was 30 days.
Okay. Well, if something doesn't exist, then
But the last paragraph, the last sentence says, the name and contact information of any officer that interacted or observed Ms. Fitzsimmons at the time.
okay.
Well, she has that information. Who she interacted with,
Right.
November 30th, 2025 at the station. So that's something.
Well,
that-
first of all, maybe I'm missing something, but other than in the interview room, when someone's advised that they're being recorded and you know, they're taped, I'm not sure there's,
No, I think this is, she didn't go to the PD after the event. She went to the hospital.
okay.
For the event, it's my understanding, and this is only from what defense counsel told me.
Yeah.
That she was at the station earlier that day.
Oh, okay.
Had done something, I can't remember what during the day.
Was at the station earlier, Mr.
But she
Bradle?
knows who she interacted with.
Okay. Is June 30th the date of the incident, by the way? Okay. And when was she at the station and for what
I
purpose?
love that
What time does the
you're
incident
here,
happen?
hate.
So Your Honor, the incident is, it's in the afternoon. Up to that, Ms. Fitzsimmons was at the North Andover Police Department for a CPR recertification.
I see.
She brought the baby with her.
Okay.
So we wanted the video from the station. And on August 26th, I think the Commonwealth's going to have an issue with this, okay? On August 26th, we filed these arraignment motions.
Right.
Asking, we put them in abeyance except for some of the more obvious ones like preserve notes, preserve video.
Sure.
Tell people who are video holders to hold on to the video. That was August 26th. So the Commonwealth was on notice as of August 26th.
Yep.
The video, I am fairly certain, was present and available then when they were
Absolutely, Rita.
notice of this
No,
motion. And I believe the
she's
court
fucked.
allowed those preliminary requests.
Well, there are two issues there. First of all, though, when you say August 26th, was that filed in this court
Correct.
when she was arraigned?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Gubitosi, do you know, first of all, I don't know because I don't not that familiar with the North Andover police station, whether or not they even have cameras that would have videoed the presence of the defendant at the station on that day.
They do.
Okay. And do you know how often those are recorded over?
Not at the present time.
Okay.
I did. When we spoke about it, I called.
Back in August?
It was on, I can't remember.
Okay, okay. So the issue then becomes whether or not the request was made. First issue is whether or not you're confident the video doesn't exist today.
Right.
Okay. The first question is, I think that the defense counsel is entitled to know when the video, how often they tape over. I mean, I hear.
I did tell him that.
Right.
When I found out, I just can't remember right now.
But you can.
I can just suggest, Judge, if I may.
Yeah.
I looked at, and counsel's trying to accommodate, so I appreciate that. But on 9/18, counsel told me that they only had it to July 5th.
Okay. And you made the request on
26.
Right. But that doesn't answer the last question, which is whether or not at the time you made the request, it still existed or not.
Right.
But Mr. Gubitosi, that should be easily ascertained.
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay.
I think if you do the math, it looks like it is. And again, I appreciate the Commonwealth's efforts to try to get it. But it looks like on 8/26, if you do the same math, 9/18, it goes back to July 5th. 8/26, you're going to be within the window of.
You may. I don't know. I don't know. Every video system that I've ever heard of, I've seen some that go 3 days, 7 days, 30 days. I don't know. But that's easily ascertainable. And I'm going to tell you what you make of it.
And there's no motion before the court on that. I just wanted to bring it up, Your Honor, that it's very important to the defense that we have that video.
Anything else we can, in this motion, Mr. Gubitosi, that you object?
We are going to go over the video of her baby daddy breaking into her house after she was shot in the chest twice by fellow cops in her precinct. And it is absolutely disgusting. And if no charges are brought up at him, I have lost all respect for the police department.
Object to that we can address today?
Yes.
Please, yeah.
The bitch stole her fucking passport. Like,
Number 6 is concerning disciplinary matters for firefighters that responded to the home address of the defendant or Mass General Hospital.
And your objection to that is?
So the firefighters are not part of the prosecution team. They're not in care, custody, control.
Yeah. I mean, you can file a Rule 17 for that, Mr.
Very good, Your Honor. That's perfectly
Bradle. I
fine.
think that's right. What else, Mr. Gubitosi? Anything else in this motion?
Number 9.
Yep.
All statements, including text, emails, voicemails, writings of like the scene or among any civilian witnesses, police or prosecutors. I would just say it's overbroad.
Yeah. How, Mr. Bradle, how can the Commonwealth produce messages between people who are not, civilian witnesses?
Sure, I understand, Your Honor. The request should be really a little narrower, I suppose, which is whenever there's a police prosecution team member in the conversation,
Well,
then
that's
it should
different. I
be
agree.
discoverable.
Right.
So
statements, Mr. Gubitosi, of people who are.
Statements that I'm obligated to provide in Rule 13, absolutely.
Okay.
I agree with that, but not that.
And just, sorry.
No, I was moving on.
Just one thing on that before we move on, Your Honor, is that, it's our view, we viewed on the security video from the scene that officers are texting and calling all over the place at the scene, quite understandably. Sure. But we just want the text messages, and we have information that there were communications between the father of the child and the police officers leading up to serving this warrant, leaving up the restraining order, rather, serving the restraining order, leading up to that. And there are communications that are between the father and the police that we want,
Well, if
which would
any
certainly
of
be
those
statements.
materials that are in the possession, custody, or control of the Commonwealth or the North Andover Police Department need to be produced. I can't, it's a little bit broad in the sense that, you know, if there are people texting that the Commonwealth doesn't know about.
I agree, Judge. I don't want to, I can cut to the chase on that.
Let me see
That involve
something
the police and prosecution team.
here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's some discovery issues here, but they don't seem insurmountable to me. And they seem like something that could be worked out. The defendant's in custody. You are and have, as is your right, litigating the issue of hard detention. And my solution to that, it's not my decision one way or the other, but it's in front of, it's in front of the SJC. But I feel that this is the type of case that is tried in the district court every day. It's a serious case. All cases are serious, but it's not complicated. And I want to set a trial date sometime early next year, and we'll get another discovery compliance date in a few weeks. Mr. Gubitosi starting a trial December 1st. So maybe in late December, we can have another compliance date if it works for everybody to try to iron these things out, because, you know, it's, she is in custody.
I agree, Rita.
I'm cognizant of that. And so my solution, whenever, and we deal with this all the time, we spend sometimes more time dealing with the issues of pretrial conditions and release. And in the time we spend doing that, we could try the case. So this case looks to me, and I could be wrong, that it could be tried in a couple of days. And she's in custody. So if the case is tried and she's found not guilty, that's the end of it. If the case is tried and she's found guilty, that's a whole other issue. But the fairest thing, it seems to me, is to try the case as promptly as we can. So before your schedules get any more backed up, I want to set a trial date. We can always revisit it, but what about sometime in late January, February?
That's very.
So is she going for the speedy trial forum where she just like doesn't want this to drag out and she wants it like today? Is that what this is? I watch Mazda Media and I do watch that, but I just need clarification on that.
Very fair, Your Honor, and I appreciate you saying that. And I wanted to ask maybe the first week of February.
Sure. Mr. Gubitosi, how does that work for you?
I have a murder starting on the 26th of January. So if we can go to, I could do this the week of the 9th.
Okay.
That's fine.
Does that work for you, Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Ms. Attorney Coakley?
Always with the caveat that I haven't checked with any witnesses.
What a
Of
beautiful
course,
girl.
of course. And but this way we have a target date. Everybody can check with their witnesses. We can find out and iron that problem out now. And if there's somebody who needs an adjustment for a few days, a week, one way or the other, we can work on that. But the longer we wait to do it, the more backed up we get. And again, you know, we're going to prioritize this case. She's in custody. Maybe she will be at that time. Maybe not. I don't know. But at best, for your client, she's going to be on restrictive conditions, and that's a factor as well. So let's get a trial date now. Let's shoot for that. We'll schedule it for trial on February 9th. I think that's very reasonable. And let's set another discovery compliance date that everybody can live with sometime in December. Mr. Gubitosi, you expect to be tied up for a couple of weeks?
Yep, I think I can, the week of the 15th, I should be
Okay,
I'm going to ask for maybe the 18th along those lines. I think we're in the same process.
we can do that. Sure. We'll do the 18th. And my purpose that day.
Sorry, Judge, just a calendar issue. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Judge, 18 is a tough day, it turns out. Could we do the 19th?
I'll do it if Mr. Gubitosi is available. Okay, we'll do it now. And I want you to have a conference, which I know you will, to see if you can work these things out or refine or narrow the motion. And we'll revisit those things that day. I have a Zoom that's coming from a different Norfolk that we have to get to right now. So it's either that or we get together late this afternoon.
Perfectly fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think we can resolve much of the rest of it.
Now, as far as your request, the last thing I'm going to cover is your request regarding transportation of the defendant. I allowed it today. I'm going to do it on a day-by-day basis. I mean, if the next day's discovery motions, I don't think that it's necessary. One will attempt to do it. But the goal here, again, in fairness to the defendant and everyone else, is to get the case tried promptly. So we'll have a hearing that day. I'll try to, or me or someone will iron out all of these issues if we can, and let's keep moving. I don't expect, doesn't sound like you intend to litigate them to suppress in this case.
Correct, Your Honor.
So that removes one common obstacle to getting this done. So working with that, I think everybody's being reasonable in terms of time. Why don't you have a further conference, exchange written responses so that there's down the road, there's no misinterpretation, and let's see each other again in a few weeks. And I'll order a Zoom, Habe, if we can do that. Okay? All right.
I think that'll be fine. If there's any issue, we'll file appropriate case.
And if you have a narrower motion, or you can narrow the issues, file another motion, and I'll make sure that I get a look at it, or somebody will.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a great holiday. All right.
All right, kids. Now I have the most egregious display. This is from Mazamedia Armenian. Newly released footage and information has been provided by Justice for Kelsey. I do not find this footage shocking at all. It's just disgusting. New information provided while Kelsey Fitzsimmions was hospitalized and fighting for her life. This happened. Let me know if you can hear it. This is her house being broken into. Like the fucking scumbags they are. Look at them. Heathens. Let's watch it again. Busting into a door. Busting into her door. 3 guys stealing her shit. Good God. Hold on. Here we go. Let's slow this bitch down so we can see it all. Look at them. Heathens. I can't make it bigger. Look at them. Fucking heathens. They stole her passport. The thing is, honey, they're never going to get arrested for this. Never. I don't believe that. I just don't. Let's watch that again. Breaking into Kelsey Fitzsimmions' door. Broke in. Right, Scotty? Yeah, it was. It was in July. After she was shot in the chest twice by her coworkers, they broke into her house and stole credit cards. They stole her passport. They stole everything. Look at these fucking pieces of shit. 2 days after she was shot. Yep. They would have been arrested already if they were. Burglary, grand larceny, criminal tampering, wire fraud, and criminal impersonation. Fucking wild. Supposedly the father had just changed those locks after she was arrested and updated all of her surveillance cameras. They went downstairs to disengage the alarm, and I have a feeling all the firemen. Yep. How are they not put in cuffs right now? Because it's Massachusetts. They protect their own. They fucking protect their own. I am going to find another something for us to watch just because I'm invested at this point. Melanie Little went over this. Oh, right here. This was 5 hours ago. Hold on. We're gonna watch this. This was 5 hours ago in Boston media.
Morning in the case of a North Andover police officer facing assault charges for an
Yes, this was
confrontation in
just
her home.
leaked.
Kelsey Fitzsimmions now claiming that her ex-fiance broke into her home just days after she was shot by officers who were serving her a restraining order, and she was arrested. NBC 10 Monica Medea live outside of Essex Superior Court with details on the filings ahead of today's big hearing. Monica.
Good morning. And this would have happened while Fitzsimmions was recovering in the hospital from that gunshot wound to the chest. Now, Kelsey Fitzsimmions does have a hearing today, and this video is coming just before that. Her trial is set for March. I want to show you that video now that we're talking about. It shows, according to her legal team, the baby's father, her ex-fiance, breaking into her home along with several other men 3 days after she was shot. Her attorneys say during this break-in, the Wi-Fi and the surveillance system was cut. They allege he stole her laptop and used it to steal money from her bank account and access medical records, including stealing a letter he wrote calling her a good mother. Let's get to the history in this case, because that ex-fiance had previously received a restraining order against Fitzsimmions, claiming she assaulted him and threatened their infant son's life. So when police served the order and came to take her baby, that is when Fitzsimmions was shot. The officer who shot her claimed she pointed a gun at him while she was packing up her baby's things. She says she pointed the gun at herself. She wanted to kill herself. Fitzsimmions was in treatment for postpartum depression at the time. She has pleaded not guilty to a charge of assault with a dangerous weapon. That's what she will be on trial for. And this hearing, pre-trial hearing, this starts later this afternoon. Reporting live in Lawrence, Monica Medea.
Okay, so there is a hearing today for this that I do want to cover. As long as baby Grunk is not home, I want to cover it. I just need to find where it might be. So we are going to look. Kelsey emergency hearing. Um, 4 months ago. We need to do today. Um, 18 hours ago, 2 weeks ago, is not up yet. Hopefully we can view it, because what in the let's 4 months ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't see anything for today, kids. That's unfortunate. If anyone oh wait, right here. Melanie Little is doing it, and I don't know how she feels about restreaming her, but oh yeah, it breaks my heart even more, Rita. You're absolutely right. I've never been given license disqualification. He got anyway. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I hope the feds are tapping in their shit. I agree. Doing what? They're doing an emergency. They're doing an emergency hearing due to what is coming out for her baby daddy. Mel's doing a live for the Kelsey Fitzsimmions hearing today. So maybe I'll have to wait until people actually do it, because I don't want to like stripe stream. And It's just all like so sad. It's just like so goddamn sad, and I cannot. I bet they want to charge Brady with witness tampering and defying a court order. I mean, yeah, that's the thing too. Like, why are we doing that? I mean, he's not the fucking problem. The baby daddy is the problem. Do I think that Kelsey is completely innocent? I don't. There was a lot going on, but I don't think she deserves everything that she's getting. Do you remember when they kept her in jail because she asked to have her ankle bracelet like loosened because it was like literally affecting her skin? And they're like, oh, we don't want to hurt you, so we're going to put you back in jail. I'm more pissed off at this than I was at CPD and MSP. Yeah. It's tragic. And the girl has not seen her baby in how long? The girl's not seen her baby in how long? There's no reason why she can't have supervised visitations with her daughter or her son. I don't know if she has a daughter or son. It's tragic. Like being a mother and having to be away from my son, it makes me physically ill. I cannot imagine what she's feeling like when that video got out of her literally having like a break because she hasn't seen her kid. I get it. Like being a parent, you literally get physically sick not being around your child, like not being able to see your child or what's going on with them. No updates, no nothing. She missed his first walking. She missed so much. And why? Because her firefighter ex-boyfriend is a vindictive fucking asshole. Do I think she had issues? Do I think she had postpartum depression? I sure do. But like, come on, man. I've been friendly with the Tilted lawyer, and he does family court, and he said it's the worst court to be in. It's tragic. It's absolutely fucking tragic. I've been on for 2 hours and I need to go rest because I'm feeling real pain, and you can probably hear it in my voice. I need to go rest for a little while, but if anything pops off, I will come back and we will talk about it, kids. I love you guys. Thank you for everybody who has come into my chat and wished me well. And we go over these cases because they matter. They matter. Massachusetts cases matter because this is where we live. And if you're not living here, you have sympathy for us. You have sympathy for these people. You have sympathy for Turtle Boy. You have sympathy for Karen Reed. You have sympathy for Fitzgibbon and everybody else. How about the state troopers that killed a man and everything got covered up for him? How about that? How about all of the Malden girls basketball coach that is now being accused of rape and all of that? Like, bring it all out. All of these people are degenerates. Make them a mockery. Make them want to be better. I don't think they can, but like make a mockery of them because they deserve it, because they're fucking degenerates, in my opinion. I have to go rest, but I will be back, and hopefully I might even come on camera. Who knows? I just don't feel very camera-esque today. I'm not feeling very good. So I love you guys. Thank you for coming short notice onto my stream. I love each and every one of you. You guys are my OG day one people, and I will forever be grateful for every single one of you. And I will see you on the next one, kids. See you.